All right, so are you ready to dive into this performance?
Oh, absolutely. I've been looking forward to this one.
It's Xscape at the 2022 Soul Train Awards, and everybody knows Xscape.
Yeah, legendary.
But this performance was just next level.
Oh, for sure. Way more than just a nostalgia trip.
Exactly. It's like they reinvented 90s R&B for a whole new generation.
And even if you're a diehard fan, I think there are some things that you'll pick up on in this performance that maybe you didn't notice before.
Right, like layers.
Layers.
Okay, so first of all, we got to talk about the Soul Train Awards themselves. I mean, this is huge EE in black music.
Right, absolutely. A celebration of soul and funk and R&B going all the way back to the 70s.
It's like an institution.
Yeah,
For Xscape to own that stage in 2022, that was a statement.
Huge statement. And they didn't just own it, they brought the house down.
Oh, 100%. And the energy they had from the very first word. I mean, they came out and they're like, I need everybody to get up out of their seat one time. We came from the ATL to rock with y'all tonight.
Chills. Literal chills.
Right. They set the tone immediately.
And it's so smart how they bring in those Atlanta roots right away,
Oh, yeah.
Xscape came up when Atlanta was becoming the place for this new wave of R&B.
Right.
Blending hip-hop influences with that classic soulful sound.
Yes.
That line wasn't just hype. It was a connection to a whole legacy. And the audience, they felt that instantly.
Oh, yeah. You could tell everybody was on board.
Instantly.
And then they go into this medley, and it's not just greatest hits one after the other.
Right.
It's so carefully crafted.
Deliberate, yeah.
So they start with just kicking it to get everybody moving, right? And then, bam, who can I run to? And it's pulling at your heartstrings before they even get to the chorus.
Oh, 100%. I was so impressed with how they wove in understanding later, too. It's not just the order of the songs. It's this whole lyrical journey they take you on.
Yeah.
You go from that, yearning for connection in who can I run to? And then understanding almost offers an answer.
Ooh, I like that.
They're saying, yeah, love is complicated, but communication is key.
Okay, that's giving it a whole new dimension.
Right.
Because I was thinking about who can I run to, and those lyrics just get me every time. It's every line is a gut punch. I have yet to find that someone who would care to satisfy me, to stay right by me. Oh, who can I run to?
Right, and they hit different now. Decades later. I mean, in the 90s, it was this anthem for young love.
Yeah.
But now, it almost feels like it's about finding connection in a world that's even more chaotic,
Yes.
Yeah.
And that search for understanding, it's just become even more universal.
For sure.
Okay, but hold on. Let's rewind for a second to just kicking it. Because vocally, that song is no joke.
Oh, my gosh.
The harmonies, the ad-libs, it's they have 4 lead singers in one group.
Right. It shows off their individual strengths, but they blend together so perfectly.
Yeah.
It's that hallmark of 90s R&B that focus on those complex vocal arrangements.
Yeah.
And honestly, not every group could pull that off live like that.
No, no way.
No way.
And then they do this thing that takes everybody straight back to their teenage bedrooms. They slow it down and look at the crowd and are like, we're going to slow it down just a little bit, take you all back to 1993, and bam, it's tonight.
Stop. Goosebumps. I get goosebumps every time.
It was you could hear hearts melting across the entire arena.
So 1993 was a landmark year for them for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Tonight was their breakout hit. The one that solidified their place in R&B.
Right.
But to do it as this stripped down, almost acoustic version, genius. It wasn't just about nostalgia. It was about showing how their voices had matured, how much emotion they could pack into every single note.
They're saying, yeah, we were kids back then, but we've lived, we've loved, and now we can really sing this song.
Yes. Whole new depth.
Right.
And what's interesting? While 1993 was huge E for them, I almost think 1995, with their second album, was even more pivotal.
Oh.
They took more creative control. Their sound got even bolder. They weren't just a girl group anymore. They were artists.
Oh, I love a little friendly debate. I actually kind of lean towards 98 as their, defining era.
Oh, really?
Unpretty. And, the message of that song.
Yeah.
It was groundbreaking at the time. And it's still so relevant today.
That's what's so great about Xscape, though, right? Every fan has their era.
Right.
But it all builds on this incredible foundation they made in the 90s.
Totally. Okay, but back to the Soul Train Awards. So understanding. They brought the audience in on that one.
Oh, yeah.
I loved when they said, Anybody in here needs a little understanding. Help us sing this song. What I need from you is understanding. It was like this giant sing-along.
Yes, with thousands of your best friends.
Right, exactly.
It was so powerful. And that's what gets me about understanding. It's more than just a love song. It's about that need for empathy, for communication. And that's relevant in any relationship.
Oh, yeah. Romantic, friendships, even work, right?
Exactly. Like, who hasn't felt misunderstood at some point?
Ugh, all the time.
Or just crave that deeper connection,
For sure.
It's like part of being human. And Xscape just taps into that so well.
And it's not even just the lyrics, it's like how they deliver it.
Oh, 100%.
Like when Condi hits those high notes in understanding,
Yeah.
it's like she's channeling all the feels into her voice.
Right. And then Tiny comes in with that smooth, almost smoky tone, and it just creates this perfect contrast.
And that interplay between their voices, that's what gives them that signature sound. It's not even just individual talent,
Yeah, it's like how their voices work together.
Synergy, yeah, they create something really special.
When I think about why they've stayed so relevant, it's not just the high notes or catchy hooks. It's that authenticity.
Oh, for sure. You can tell they're not just going through the motions up there.
Absolutely not.
They're really feeling.
They're invested.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that comes through even more now, I think.
Who so?
Well, they were teenagers when they first started out, right?
Yeah.
They've grown up so much, they've been through their own stuff,
Right.
And that experience just adds this whole other layer to their music.
It's like they're not just singing the songs, they're living them.
Yes. And that vulnerability, that connection just hits different.
Yeah, it makes you feel it more deeply.
And, it's interesting how their evolution ties into this broader 90s R&B revival that's been happening.
Oh, tell me about it.
It's not just nostalgia. It's about rediscovering music that had real soul, music that spoke to real emotions, real experiences. And Xscape is leading the charge.
I think it's also got to be about the visual impact, too.
Oh, yeah.
Their style, their stage presence, it's always on point.
It's always been a part of their identity. Those coordinated outfits, the choreography, it's all part of the package.
It's interesting to see how they've kind of updated their look, but stayed true to that 90s aesthetic.
Totally. They haven't tried to chase trends. They just refined their own style.
And it works. That confidence just shines through.
Yeah. Do you remember when they came out for Understanding? It's
oh my God.
They commanded everyone's attention just with a look.
Totally.
It's what you get with years of experience, that stage presence,
Right.
It's like owning your space, connecting with the audience.
Yeah.
They just make it look effortless.
And the whole performance was like a master class in how to work a crowd, how to build that energy and leave people wanting more.
Makes you wonder, what was it about this performance that just hit so deeply?
I don't know. It's hard to put your finger on. Right? Was it the songs? The way they connected with the audience?
Yeah. Was it something even deeper?
I think for me, it was that blend of nostalgia with this sense of they've grown, they've matured. It was like watching them come full circle.
Yeah, they acknowledge their past, but they're still pushing forward.
Exactly. And that resonates with everyone, we've all been on our own journeys.
This performance, it was a statement. Xscape was saying, we're here, we're still relevant, and we're not going anywhere.
It really was a celebration of their legacy, their talent, their impact on R&B.
100%.
Okay. We've talked about what made it so special, but I'm curious, what stood out to you the most?
Oh, good question.
Was there a specific moment, a vocal riff, or maybe just a look they gave to the audience that really stuck with you?
Honestly. It was how they handled Tonight.
Really?
Yeah. Stripping it back, letting those emotions come through. It really highlighted their growth as vocalists.
Yeah.
It was like they were inviting us all to revisit the song with them, to hear it with fresh ears and really appreciate those little nuances they bring to it now. It gave me a whole new appreciation for their artistry.
It's crazy how music can do that, right? Evolve with you.
Yeah, for sure. A song you loved in high school can hit you totally different years later.
Totally. Depending on what you've been through,
Exactly. And it says a lot about Xscape's talent that their music has that staying power. It's not just about catchy melodies,
Right.
There's real depth there. Real emotion.
And it connects across generations.
Across generations.
I think it also says a lot about the Soul Train Awards themselves.
Oh, yeah.
This isn't just any award show. It's an institution, a celebration of Black music and Black culture and Black excellence.
For Xscape to have that moment on that stage.
Yeah.
Iconic.
Totally iconic. Okay, so I got to ask.
Yeah.
Did you have a favorite outfit from the performance.
Oh, you know I did.
Because I am still obsessed with those silver sequin jumpsuits
Yes.
that they wore for just kicking it.
Those were amazing.
Yeah.
Like a throwback, but with a modern twist.
Right.
It's like they were honoring their 90s roots while also showing how their style has evolved.
Yeah, totally.
I also loved the all-white looks for tonight.
Oh.
So elegant, timeless.
Yeah, they were stunning. Like, they knew they were creating a moment, and they wanted to look the part.
And they did.
Yeah.
And every detail was on point, from the outfits to the lighting to the choreography.
Mm-hmm.
It all came together to create this visual experience that just elevated the music.
This whole deep dive has made me realize how much I underestimated Xscape back in the day.
Oh, really?
I knew the hits, I sang along, but I didn't fully appreciate the depth of their artistry, the power of their voices, their impact on R&B.
It's never too late to rediscover a group. And that's what I love about music.
Right.
There's always something new to learn, to appreciate.
Yeah.
Even in songs you've heard 1,000 times.
So true.
Yeah.
Okay, before we wrap up, I have a challenge for all our listeners.
Okay.
Go back and watch this performance again. But this time, pay attention to all the details.
Yeah.
Listen to the harmonies, how they play off each other's energy, those subtle shifts in their voices.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you'll hear something new, something that makes you appreciate Xscape even more.
I love that challenge. It's all about going beyond the surface and digging into what makes it special.
This has been so fun. Xscape, you've officially blown our minds.
They really have a knack for that. And it makes me wonder what's next for them,
Right.
Will they give us some new music? Another tour?
Oh, a biopic.
A biopic. The possibilities are endless.
I'm here for all of it. Until next time, keep those good vibes flowing and keep diving deep into the music that moves you.